Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. I'm super excited because today we are going to be talking about something that I have a lot of experience in, and I have truly found out the hard way many times, and that is the paradox of success. So, super exciting. If you have been struggling to find success in a certain area, you're working really hard and just it doesn't seem to be happening, this video / episode is for you. So that's pretty much it for my intro. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, rate and review, all the things. They're free, they take about half a second, and they mean the world to me, lift the podcast up so that more people can join our community of girly pops. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. So to start us off, what I am going to be talking about is to basically stop chasing success. In my experience, things have really come together when I've slowed down instead of just like full speed ahead. So let's jump into my experience, and then I will kind of tell you what I mean by that, break it down more. I am a highly ambitious person. You guys know this. I have the podcast. I have 2 books that I'm working on. I actually just finished the first draft of one the other day. Very exciting. I am doing my pet social media where I make a second income, which includes having to research and do brand deals, keep on top of all of their analytics, constantly be coming up with new content ideas, not only for that, but for other things such as the podcast. So a lot of the things in my life are self-driven, and if I take a break, I'm not plowing ahead. And obviously, like, I would love to be like a New York Times bestselling author. I would love to do the podcast full time. I would love for the dog social media to get better. I would love to make enough money to build my own house. I have a lot of goals that are based on if I can get my shit together and be successful. So I have for a very long time carried a lot of weight on my shoulders. Sorry if you hear my dog rolling in the background. She's just having the time of her life. But I have carried the weight of success on my shoulders. So what I mean by the weight of success is that I have told myself, like, this has to work out. I'm not going to be happy otherwise. This has to work out. I'm not going to make enough money otherwise. This has to work out. And I have put so much pressure on myself. And that is what we are not going to be doing. Okay? We are not going to be doing that. So basically, I'm going to give you the formula to being successful, because if you keep pushing and putting that much pressure on yourself and saying like, oh, this has to happen because of XYZ, then it's less likely to happen for a number of reasons. So before you even start looking towards success, first you need to meet the first bottom tiers of James Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So what is his hierarchy of needs? It can be broken down into 5 different areas, and it's a pyramid. This is what it looks like. Beautiful. If you're watching, if you're listening on the podcast, Google, or just bear with me. Basically, the bottom is physiological needs. The second from the bottom is safety and security. Then it's love and belonging. Then self-esteem, and finally self-actualization. So the bottom being physiological needs, that includes breathing, so clean air, food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. These are like the most basic needs that you need. The second tier is safety and security. So that would be health, employment, property, family, and social ability. So what I mean by you need to fulfill the bottom 2 is you need to make sure that you have this. I think that I put a lot of pressure on myself for a very long time because I was in a job where I wasn't making enough to be secure. And what I mean by that is, like, I was very stressed. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Not that I'm not now, like, I still am now, but I have more reign to a certain extent. Before it was just like, I was so stressed constantly, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to make this happen? How are we going to eat? How am I going to do this? How are we going to pay rent? Oh my gosh, the dogs are almost out of dog food. And that stress led me to be like, I need my podcast to blow up so that I can make money off of it and I can feed myself and my family. I need the dog social media to do well because they need dog food and I don't have any money. And how am I going to get money? And what am I going to do? A lot of it was like I was able to figure it out. So I never once was at a point where like they went without food or I went without food. But it was very, very like one paycheck away from ruin, which most people in the United States, I feel like, are in this place right now. But what I'm encouraging you to do is get out of it as much as possible, to the point that you are not losing sleep every night, panicking, having panic attacks, so that you are not able to meet a need, whether it be food, water, housing, whatever. You need to make sure that these bottom two are taken care of before you even consider success. Because if I think that if you do these two bottom ones, you will be relatively happy to the point that you are able to focus on your dream. And obviously, like, I have a nice house, I love my house, but my dream is to build a house. And I know that, like, I know that you're not going to be able to maybe get your dream house, because I'm not there yet. You may not be able to get your dream car. You may not be able to eat the most luxurious food, but it's all a process. I just want you to be at the point where you are not stressed about it, and it's not a huge, huge, huge burden, as much as you physically can. So take 6 months, a year, however long you need, because you need to get to a place there where you're able to do that, which is why I recommend having a job that maybe you're not obsessed with, but pays the bills until you can make your dream your full-time job. That's what I do. I work full-time, and I love my job, actually. Now that I moved, and I'm no longer at the place where I just wasn't making enough, I have found that I actually do enjoy my job, because there's a lot less stress on me, and I almost feel like, oh wow, what I'm doing is like fulfilling and whatever. So find a job that you don't hate, that you make enough money with to fulfill your bills, which is going to require you to budget, and then that's when we're going to focus on success, because you need to be reasonably less stressed and happy enough that you can focus on these without the panic of, if I don't make this happen, I will not be good. Like, I won't survive. I read this book last year called Burn the Boats, and that narrative didn't work for me. Maybe this works for you and everything I'm saying is bullshit. But the narrative of burning the boats, so what they mean by that is like, quit your job, burn your connections, make it so that you have no choice but for your thing to be successful. And that may work for some people, but if you're a highly, highly anxious person like myself, me and Zoloft are like that, we're besties, then you probably won't do well if you take away your sense of security. You need your sense of security in order to do well and have the ability to work on your success. Desperation does not equal success, and even when I felt like I was good, I was trying to be successful from a place of desperation. Like, I was trying to claw myself out of the life that I was living. And it wasn't until I was fully happy in the life that I was living now where things started taking off and going better in my successful endeavors. So desperation does not equal success. It's not going to get you where you want to go. In the world of law of attraction manifesting, they say to never ever work from desperation, because if you are desperate, you're going to manifest more desperation. So they believe it, I believe it, and I've seen it play out. Stop being stressed, manic, panicked. Success should be fun. You should be at a place where you are secure enough that the thing that you're going towards is a passion, and it's like, it's supposed to be fun. It's not like the world's gonna end if it doesn't happen tomorrow. I started viewing it as like this would be so cool if it happened, but I'm good either way. Like, my back's covered either way. Like, whatever is meant to be is gonna be. This is really cool and I would love for it to work out, but like, what's gonna be is gonna be. Because I think that after living a little bit more, a lot of times the things that I want, moving on to like later in life and looking back, I'm so glad that I didn't get it, because now it would have been a disaster. Like, truly a disaster. So yeah, whatever's meant to be is gonna be. And I know you're like, Grace, I want this to happen now. Why the hell would I want to say that? Like, I want this thing. This is my life passion. It'll happen. It'll just happen in its own time, and it may not happen the way you expect it to. Another reason why you need to come at this from like a calm state is that you need creativity combined with like analytical and problem solving skills, and you can't do that if you're coming from a panic state. Or maybe you're someone who can, but it's going to be a lot harder and your ideas are not going to be as good. So an example is my dog's social media or the podcast, either one. I am having to come up with content ideas. Like I said, my content ideas are not going to be near as good or funny or hit the same if I'm stressed and I'm like, oh my god, I need to throw a video up today, because if I don't, then I'm less chances of being seen, and like law of averages, and like I need this to go well, and I need to post a video with like a product placement, and then it needs to do well so that I can make commission off of it so that we can pay our bills and da 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 da. Like, no, we're not going to do that. You are going to be chill about it. This is like the playing hard to get. Like, you're playing hard to get with your thing. You're like, this is gonna come to me. I'm having fun. What would be a fun thing I can do? What would be so silly and fun? What would be the most silly goose thing that I can do that would work out? You're just looking at it from like, what's a fun little thing I could do that would make this happen? You're not looking at it from a, if this doesn't happen, I will literally die. Because I'm here for the drama, but we don't need it. Like, I am the drama, but we don't need it. So, another example is the book I'm writing. I have had writer's block for a while. I'm talking like a month. And I have been really, really stressed about it because in my head I'm like, I need to get this first draft written. If I don't get this first draft written, then it's not going to come out. I have people counting on me. What if the opportunity just like passes and I don't get it done and the fad's over? What if it's not a fad? What if it is a fad? Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I do have major anxiety. So my mind is just reeling. And I found that when I stop having writer's block, or when I stop being stressful or stressed out, wow, words, then like that fog in my brain lifts and I no longer have writer's block. It'll just come to me when I'm like sitting in my hammock or like reading a book. So make sure that if you're stressed, the first thing you need to do is try and find that stress, pinpoint that stress, and relieve it. You know, I've been reading books for the past month. I told myself, you know what, you don't want to write, I'm not going to force you to write. You're going to read books. I just read a series, I just finished it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm feeling rejuvenated. I'm feeling ready to jump in. And had I spent the last month freaking out about having writer's block, I would probably still not be in the place where I can write, and I would have writer's block for even longer. Instead of just like taking the break, reading a 3-book series, and then being like, okay, I'm good now. Like, yeah, I took a month off, but it would have been 2 or 3 months if I would have just tried to push through it and stared at the wall and got angry at myself. So it's important to find joy in every day and do the thing to find success because it's fun. You shouldn't be doing something as a money grab. Let me tell you, as someone who's an entrepreneur, as someone who has experience in a lot of random things, I have talked to a lot of people who have come to me and said, hey, I'm interested in doing this. What can you tell me about it? And it's always the people who are like, so how fast am I going to start making money? So how do I make money doing this? So I just want to make money. Like, I don't really care. Can you come up with the concept for me? Like, those are the type of people who do not stick to it, do not find success, and they hate it. They never do it. They never are successful with their ideas or their problem solving. There's no follow through because they're like, I didn't make money immediately. So everybody said I would make money doing this immediately. So clearly it's a scam. Like, this doesn't work. Like, you guys suck. No, you're just not passionate about it. So you don't understand the market. You don't enjoy it, and you're not going to spend time daydreaming about it or having fun with it, you know, because it sucks. Like, you need to be passionate about the thing that you're trying to achieve, and you need to have fun while doing it, and you need to want to do it for more than just the money, obviously. But if you're like having a chill day, like today I'm having a chill day, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to work on my first draft before I send it to someone to take a look at, and then I'm going to hang out. I took a nap before this. Before that, I went and saw my horse. Like, I'm used to, and I'm still working on it, have like panic attacks if I don't get all of the crazy things on my to-do list done first. Like, if I don't film, if I don't do this first draft, then I wouldn't have been able to take a nap. I wouldn't have been able to go see my horse. I would have been so tightly wound up, stressed, that I wouldn't have been able to do it. And now I'm like, no, you need balance. You need to take a break. It's okay. Go have fun. Your body is asking you to do something. And here we are. Me listening to my body. So, find joy in every day. Slow down. And you'll actually find success a lot quicker. Do not get me wrong, you may not become an overnight success. You know, you may not wake up to 1 million subscribers after having like 5. The likelihood of that happening are very small. But you will start celebrating the progress rather than seeing it as not enough. Like, every time I got a subscriber, I would be like, oh my gosh, I got a subscriber. But then I would be like, not enough, I need more. This isn't enough to get where I want to go. Like, yeah, but it's getting somewhere. Look at it with a cup half full. Also, when I started slowing down, I did start getting a lot more subscribers. I did notice that my writing was getting more attention. I noticed that my dogs were getting more followers. Like, it's kind of weird, and that's the paradox of it. When you slow down and stop caring as much, you'll find that the success just comes naturally. Like, I'll just be chilling on the couch and I'll be like, oh my god, my Substack is getting all these followers, getting all these likes. Like, that's crazy. Why and when? Like, how did this happen? And it's just the paradox of success. I'm chill. I'm putting out funny little notes when I feel like it. I'm scheduling my posts for twice a week and for each publication. And the rest is just coming to me easy. Like, you don't have to make it hard. And I felt like it was too easy, so I was making it hard. Like, I can't understand that success is easy. I want it to be hard because I want to earn it. And then I'm making it so hard that I'm overcomplicating it, and it's just not happening. You hear me? You feel me? What you need to do to basically do this is you need to find the balance of having self-discipline and taking steps towards success while also not burning yourself out and stressing out over it. So the example of content. How many days a week are you going to do content? It's funny because I used to have a schedule where I was like, this is the amount of content I need to post every day on every single platform in order to be successful. And not that long ago, I literally just threw it out the window, like all of it. I was just like, meh, I'll post content when I feel like it. That's it. And I'm still posting it more than like I thought I would. It's almost like when I remember, because I do forget a lot, but when I remember, I post content and it's getting a lot more views than it was before. And I'm like, is that because I don't know, like I post when I'm inspired, or when something funny with my pets happens, or when I am, you know, I have an idea, instead of just being like, oh, I have to post something. What's a trendy sound I can use? Quick, what's an idea? Okay, let's throw this up. Like, no, now it's just like, oh my gosh, my dog is being so funny right now. I'm gonna video it. Like, that's it. So I think that you still need to have self-discipline. Like, if you're the type of person who, if you don't have a schedule, you're not gonna do it, then you need to have a schedule, but make sure you aren't over scheduling. Maybe have like a couple days where this is what I do with my book. I write like a bunch of chapters within like a few days because I'm super hyper fixated and motivated. And then I take like a couple weeks off. And it's like, I just do it when I really want to because I trust that I have ADHD and I'll hyperfixate on it. And if it is getting too long, that's when I start being like, okay, we need to lock in. Why are we taking so long? But I have the self-discipline to be like, hey, let's go. Time to go. Like, you're slacking. You're slacking too much. And you just need to know yourself well enough to have the discipline to do that, but also not burn yourself out. The last thing I want to leave you with is you can do this. Small steps forward are progress. No progress is linear. And stay consistent and know that it will all work out. The perfect example of this is Sabrina Carpenter. Everyone says she's an overnight success, but it took her 10 years to be an overnight success. She had been trying to get famous. Well, she was famous, but she had been trying to get to the level of success that she hit last year for 10 years. And she stayed in her lane. She stayed consistent. And then, boom, it happened. Like, she is an overnight success. So stay the course. Don't stress to the point where you're burning out and you're not coming up with ideas that are going to do well. I would rather you post 1 or 2 things that are super funny and have really high engagement twice a week than post every single day and it suck. Because you're just not gonna, you're not gonna get successful that way. And I know that I'm applying this to content and like social media a lot, but obviously this is applicable to everything in life, success in any area. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you so, so much. Relieve your stress, have fun with it, and then everything else will fall into place. I upload every single Sunday. I'll see you next Sunday. It'll be the day before my birthday next Sunday, by the way. It'll also be Easter, so maybe I'll see you, question mark. I might have dinner. I don't know. My family is like in charge of everything, and Josh is in charge of planning it all, so I don't know what's gonna happen next weekend. So I'll post on my Instagram like, hey guys, there's gonna be an episode, or hey guys, there won't be an episode, because I don't know until next Sunday. But I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, bye guys.